Hello kittens, welcome back. This is Seb the Cat. So, last week we have been working on a new Godot game. I'm calling it Split Races right now. It's a little bit like Towerfall meets Mario Kart, but the whole aim of the game, well, the philosophy of the game is 2 players, 1 phone, right? It's a multiplayer game you can play on a mobile device. The controls are ultra simple, the visuals are pretty simple, and it's just a quick and easy, fun multiplayer game, something relatively simple that we can finish off just polishing and hopefully publish to the Android App Store sometime this week. Don't forget, if you subscribe, you can do it free with Amazon Prime. Don't forget, you will have access to our beta testing. So let me know. So otherwise, yeah, let's get started. So I did some testing over the weekend with some friends, and I think that there was some obvious feedback, I think, which was that the game was a little too hard to control, and I definitely get that. Since I last streamed, I've added a multiple level reload system, a victory screen. I've started with the title screen of the game, but that's still not connected, just because while I'm testing, I think it's actually easier to not to have to go through the extra title screen every time you test the game, so I'm just leaving that as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the game right now, see where we're at, and just discuss some of the feedback that I've got so far. Okay, so this is one of the new levels, and let me just turn the volume of this down a little bit. Oh, also, I was able to write some music, which you might be hearing. I still need to put that, it's basically MIDI files at the moment, but the basic melody's there, and then we'll be putting that through some Logic instruments, I think, later on, and starting to make those synthesizers sound a bit cooler. Okay, so this level is one of the new ones. So I found that the boost pads, they're a bit too strong. I do like them as a mechanic, but I think that they are just too disorientating for the players. And especially considering how floaty the controls are now, it really just, it doesn't add to the experience. It actually just confuses people because they get knocked about by the boost pads. As you can see, it just threw me straight into the wall there. One thing as well, I think, with this level, we need to open it up a little bit more, because like this area here is too thin, and people get stuck there. So I think the main takeaway from my playtesting was that thin corridors just aren't a lot of fun. And also that I need to be putting more effort into getting players into a central space so that they can shoot each other. So I think, yeah, we're going to expand the corridors here a little bit, and I want to tweak the power of the boosts. As you can see, that's the new victory screen. Still very simple, it's quite rudimentary, but I think it's good to have that and be able to use that to verify sort of the gameplay ideas. Once that gameplay is tweaked, I think I'll add a few more levels, and then maybe write some shaders and do some lighting effects. I don't think I'll be able to do too much though, because I want to target Android devices of all varieties. So yeah, I don't want to sort of shoot myself in the foot with performance issues. As you'll hear, a lot of new sound effects have been added. I want to do an effect for when you pick up a star. I think that's quite important. I also want to do some time manipulation effects. So like as the player, for instance, if I'm just going to load a weapon. As the player loads up a weapon, I want the time to slow down so it gets really intense. And we can also bring the music down a bit as well, like in pitch, and maybe add some reverb and get it to feel like, you know, time slowing down as you take a shot. The other thing is, I think the camera probably needs to zoom out a little bit more as well. So that's essentially the tweaks I'm planning to make today. And if we get time, we might jump into some visual effects or maybe implement the options screen, because I need to be able to let people turn music and sound and things off. So that's also something I need to do before release. Don't forget, if I'll be providing test links to Twitch followers. So if you're interested in playtesting the game, giving me some feedback, if you've got any ideas for weapons that we could implement, give us a follow and message either in the Twitch chat or the Discord channel, and I'll be in contact. Okay, so let's start. The first thing I need to address, I think, well, actually, no, not quite the first thing. First thing I'm going to do, it's nice and easy. I'm just going to pull the camera out a little bit. So basically increase the camera by about 50%, and that's going to let players see each other a little easier. Although the graphics are starting to look a little odd at this scale, I'll need to update those textures, I think. So on the mobile device, I think this is probably about as small as we could possibly get. Because we do have like limited screen space, so I've got a relatively small phone, and it's not really an issue for me, but I think on larger phones it definitely will be an issue. One other thing you'll notice is like there's quite a lot of jagged edges here. I think for the PC version I'll do some filtering, but on mobile it actually looks a lot better because of the low resolution, and it's kind of better to have those sharp edges even if they're a bit jaggy. You don't notice the jaggedness quite so much on mobile devices. So oh yeah, one thing that was implemented over the weekend is if you charge up and shoot with less than 50%, the icicle is now shooting behind you, so it's a bit of like more like a grenade in Mario Kart, or a bomb, I guess, in Crash Team Racing. Don't crucify me, but I actually think Crash Team Racing is a better kart game than Mario Kart, and I own both, so not biased. You know, yeah, Crash Team Racing copied Mario Kart, but they built upon the system, and that ended up being better. So, okay, I think that might be too zoomed out. So I'm going to maybe just put it to like a 0.6 perhaps. See how that looks. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. The textures are still a little bit iffy, but okay. So fixing the boost pads I think is a pretty easy fix as well. We may as well do that before we get into the details of player controls, because that's really fiddly, isn't it? So you could spend a whole day just fiddling the movement system. Okay, so I think I might just bring this gravity down to about half. So the boost pads are, let's see what they feel like. I don't really like how they... okay, so that was a little bit better. I think another thing we might want to do is actually when the player's in the boost pad, we might want to align them slowly with the boost pad as well. Not majorly, but I think it will make a difference. I think maybe the boost pad is also a little bit too prominent visually, because it's not really a major component of the level, right? The stars are going to need a bit more visual pop because they're more important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load up a sprite and tweak that as well. I feel like that gravity, yeah, that's probably enough. I'm going to be adding some linear dampening soon to the player, I think, to make the controls a bit tighter. And so that's going to also have the added benefit of giving you a bit more control on the boost pads. So, cool. Alright, so let's open up this boost pad sprite. And let's eyedropper this dark color. And maybe just make a little bit, or quite a bit less, quite a bit lighter, and we'll do a non-contiguous paint. So that's just going to do the whole thing there because it's so close to what we had already. So what if we bring it even closer to white here? It's not quite visible. It's too green. Not quite. That's quite interesting actually, but I don't understand. Oh, I see. It's because we don't have the okay, so let's bring this I'm not sure how this works in A-Sprite, to be honest. How do I duplicate this this swatch? I mean, we could also just do like a gray. That's going to make it, and then if we lighten that gray, I don't know. So I don't know how we're not really able to update these swatches, are we? Let me just check how to do that in A-Sprite. So I just recently got A-Sprite. I was convinced by some YouTube videos and I thought it looked like quite a useful piece of tooling. Change palette color. Oh, it's a locked palette, is it? Oh yeah, I get you. Okay. So that means then we can update this. And bring that up. Okay, yep. And maybe make this a little lighter as well. Still green, but it's not quite like overpowering. And even this, I think, can go a bit lighter. Okay, so if we save that and have a look at how it appears in the game,